What's up, YouTube? Best Kicker 1 Unable here yet again with my good friend here. He's going to be doing his deck profile, and I'm going to go on and let him introduce himself.
What's up, guys? You can find me actually on YouTube too. I am Solem Gliht, and anyways, this deck profile isn't a complete deck profile. As a matter of fact, it's just a deck that I just decided to throw together. I've got a lot more work to do on it, but what I've got so far is basically this: 3 Volt, and you'll get the idea of Volt once you see my extra deck, but mainly Volt for the number 54 Lionheart, the guy that's been winning me all the duels today. But yeah, mostly Volt. If they're foolish enough to actually bring out an Xyz monster, I'm just like Volt. Sometimes I'll use my own Xyz monster just for the heck of it. And so yeah. Also, we have 3 Goblinberg. Since this is a heroic deck, we're going to be using Goblinberg for the warriors, and easier to bring out stuff like Excalibur and number 34 or 39. So, yep. Anyways, moving on, we also have 1 Bullblader. I was thinking about taking him out, but then I realized that Bullblader actually does work really well inside of this deck, being a warrior type monster, and being able to essentially destroy just about any other monster it battles with no damage. I thought it was a pretty good deal. Anyways, Photon Thrasher, we can also have him up at 2 if we wanted to, but I usually just use 1 because I usually have some field presence half the game, but I usually get him to hand if I don't have anything. We also have 2 Battle and Boxer Veil. Battle and Boxer Veil we usually use for hand support, you know, get some damage. I think I'll take those life points back, that kind of thing. It's a pretty fun combo to also bring them out. Anyways, we also have 1 Warhammer. We usually bring him out for different combos. I actually have a combo with Warhammer. I usually use Assault. What was his name again? Hold on. Here we go. Heroic Challenger, Ambush Soldier. And
with lighter by any chance?
Nope. Sorry, brother. With Ambush Soldier, we use Ambush Soldier's effect to bring out 2 Heroic Challenger monsters from our graveyard or hand, and then we usually banish Assault Soldier to bring out this guy and make him level 1. Then we bring out 3 others and bring out Baby Tyragon. It's so cute.
It is so cute, and not to mention, it's so awesome. Allows you to have any level 1 monster attack directly. And with Heroics, with Assault Soldier, just throw him out of the graveyard, and boom, you can have any level 1 monster attack directly, which is pretty epic, especially if Warhammer used his effect to steal an opponent's monster after he destroyed it. He's like a Goyo and Relinquished mixed together. It's pretty epic. Anyways, moving on, we also have our Heroics Destroyer. He's a defense destroyer, Heroic Challenger Night Watchman. He's usually used to destroy defense positions, but I usually like to use him as Xyz fodder with Goblinberg and stuff like that. Moving on, we have 2 Ambush Soldiers.
For some reason you want to say Assault.
I want to say Assault Halberd because he would work so well in this deck, but sadly I don't have him. Anyways, Ambush Soldier brings out any heroic, especially later on in game. Use him comboed with if they want to destroy. Just use your 3 sword shields just for the lulls of it. Just like, forget it, I'm not taking any damage or getting him destroyed by battle this turn.
Gee, we experienced that today.
And then we did, essentially. Not to mention, after that, after you used Sword Shield, you can essentially just bring him back from the grave after you used him. Anyways, we've also got 2 Heroic Challenger Spartans for a pretty good combo, resulting almost in an OTK. Essentially, you get him up to 6,400, around there, and bounce his effect off of another Spartan. So once you have 2 Spartans on the field, you know the face down has to be names. It has to be
that moment when you can't remember the names.
Yes,
it's
Heroic
okay.
Advance. You know the face down has to be Heroic Advance. Especially it's a heroic deck, and I'm trying to make it more full blood heroics rather than just other cards thrown together. Anyways, I really could use 3 of these, but I only have 2 at the moment. We have Heroic Challenger Double Lance. Essentially, summon him, bring out a second one from the graveyard or hand, and it's pretty effective, especially if you've already used something like Reinforcement of the Army to bring them to your hand. Just do it, and you got yourself a rank 4 Xyz with 2 materials. It's pretty cool. And another card that I wish I had another one of, Extra Sword. Of course, Extra Sword being essential in a lot of Xyz warrior decks. Actually, this one is... I wish I had 3, but this one, if I had 3, I would use for the Kusanagi OTK. Essentially boosting Kusanagi up to 5,500 attack, and more with Kusanagi's effect, which is pretty epic too. Anyways, we also have 1 Infernal Reckless Summon. I want to run 2, but the balance really gets thrown off if I use 2. Anyways, we also have well, Infernal Reckless works for just about any triple card inside of this deck. You could use it for Revolt, you could use it for Sword Shield, you could use it for Extra Sword, a lot of other ones too. We also have Swords at Dawn, which is essential if we've already lost our Stoic Challenge, which I'm going to show you right now, actually, if I can find it. Here we go. We also have 2 equip spells in this one. Assault Armor for another OTK involving Lionheart, just in case he's actually on the field or whatever. Yeah, he is a warrior. He's not a beast warrior, which is pretty confusing to some people. But it's pretty fun. Allows him to attack twice and activate his effect and yada yada, damaging your opponent rather than So
It's
anyways.
still very sexy.
Yes, Stoic Challenge usually used for Utopia or Excalibur, just essentially other rank 4s with materials. And I'll show you guys the combo for the OTK in a little bit. It's pretty well known. But we also have Rank Up Magic Quick Chaos, just to bring out, after you bring out Utopia, you can bring out any of his upgrades like V or Victory, which is essential to some OTKs in this deck. We're running like 6-7 different OTKs in this one deck, depending on the plays that are being made, which are pretty fun too. We also have 2 Warrior Returning Alive, mainly because we want Sword Shield back in our hand, or maybe Ambush Soldier. And since it's being a full-blood warrior deck, no Beast Warriors or anything else, this is actually pretty useful. We also have 2 Reinforcement of the Army. I should be running 3 as of October 2014, but I only have 2 inside the deck right now. Swords of Revealing Light, just to stall a little bit and a little extra backup. You know, sometimes I have Sword Shield in my hand and Ambush Soldier on the field, and usually I like to put up a double defense just in case they're like, oh, you have Sword Shield, and just forget it, that kind of thing.
Swords. Okay.
Swords for days. Xyz Reception, really good actually with the Spartan combo. Xyz Reception has the effect to lower the attack to 0. It doesn't actually change the original attack, and Heroic Challenger Spartan's original attack actually is 1,600. So the thing is, you can use Heroic Challenger Spartan's effect and Heroic Advance here to actually boost his attack to the 6,400 that's needed. So,
What's the surprise you got for us next?
the surprise is, of course, Soul Charge. Soul Charge being one of the soul cards inside of this deck.
It's the name Soul Charge.
It's the name Soul Charge. You can actually use it to bring out Infernal Reckless Summon and activate that. You could also use it to bring out any of your Utopia Xyz to Chaos Xyz into them. You could just bring out 2 level 4 warriors for 2,000 and just wreak havoc with that. And so yeah, being a heroic deck, of course I'm going to be running a Heroic Chance. Heroic Chance being able to double the attack of your heroic monster during your turn until the end phase. But you gotta be worried about this one because it tends to reset the card and reset the attack kind of thing. So if you use the effect of Excalibur to bring him up to 4,000, then use Heroic Chance to bring him up to 8,000, at your end phase, he's going back to 2,000.
GG? Question mark? GG?
Yep. Of course, 1 Mystical Space Typhoon because I don't have to really worry about back rows in this deck. I know what you're kind of thinking, though. It's a heroic deck. It's focusing mainly on battle damage. There's Mirror Force for days today. Bottomless. Why wouldn't you want to get rid of back row? Well, that's because I have this puppy. Trap Stun. Yeah. Trap Stun is essentially the backbone of the battling effects. Also, I have some minor negators, such as Dark Bribe, to do that. But a thing that I really like to do, actually, another lesser-known negator during the battle phase is Impenetrable Attack. During your battle phase, if your opponent would cause some, like Mirror Force, to destroy your monster, all you gotta do is activate Impenetrable Attack's second effect, I believe. No, it's first effect. And it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. Granted, you would take damage if you had something small, but if you have an 8,000 Heroic Challenger Ambush Soldier, Heroic Champion Excalibur, it's pretty much essential. You also have a compulsory evacuation device, just in case you need to bounce one of your own monsters or one of the opponent's monsters back to the hand.
Basically, as a safety to come back.
It's a safety to come back. You also have Call of the Haunted, 2 of those, because it can trigger Infernal Reckless Summon, and you can trigger some other effects, like From the Grave and yada yada. So if you want to reuse like say you have Ambush Soldier on the field, no Sword Shield. Alright, they destroy Ambush Soldier, he gets sent to the grave. At the end phase, activate Call of the Haunted. As you activate Call of the Haunted, he gets brought back, safe for your standby phase. Boom. And for the last card, we have Waboku, being the essential wide-range saber for this deck. It's like a Sword Shield, except for trap form. Anyways, other cards in our extra deck, actually, I've run 13 cards in the extra deck.
Hold on, one thing before you go on.
Yep.
A kick-ass, basically. Kick-ass
Yes.
shield, you're good.
Yep. But I could run more copies of this if I wanted to, and I think I had Heroic Retribution Sword in here somewhere.
You might have, I think we dueled. I think we used it in a duel.
We did use it in a duel, but I don't think I have it in this deck profile. I usually use one copy of Heroic Retribution Sword because it's essentially the same as Lionheart's effect, essentially, but for a heroic monster, which is pretty cool.
By the way, guys, we're going to be doing more than this deck profile, so
yeah.
that way you guys can enjoy more of this awesome guy right here.
Thank you
for being on my channel.
No problem.
And continue, sir.
Anyways, we also have Burner Visor, just in case we need to attack directly. Things like, if we have someone up like Victory here, or a 3,000, essentially, 3,500 Utopia, allowing him to attack directly is a really good tactic. Other minor tactics that we have, in this deck, usually you have to attack an attack position monster to have the OTK go through. Well, that's where Photon Pappy Operative works in. And a matter of fact, it's not such an OTK, but you can deal over 5,000 damage with Photon Pappy Operative to extra swords as the Xyz material and a Stoic Challenge attached to it. Granted, you're gonna lose Pappy Operative and Stoic Challenge during your opponent's end phase, but that doesn't matter much. We also have Comics Hero King Arthur, just in case you want to battle through a little bit and
Have some fun.
have some fun and just ram through the field and boost his attack a little bit. We also have Shamoji Soldier.
The one that you're getting annoyed of?
Very, very annoyed of, actually. I would prefer actually having something like Slacker Magician or something like that, just to... I mean, Slacker Magician only needs 2 level 1 monsters, just like Shamoji Soldier. Not to mention, it can't be destroyed by card effects if you detach an Xyz material, and it can't be destroyed by battle. I think it was either once or twice per turn. I think it's once, but being 2,000 defense, just the same as Shamoji Soldier, I think Silent Magician is actually a better choice than Shamoji. But he does snag me a free draw at the cost of the opponent having a draw too. Anyways, we also have Heroic Champion Kusanagi. Kusanagi, I was enunciating earlier about Kusanagi having 3 Xyz materials being extra sword, and that doesn't usually happen inside of this deck, even though I could swear that I actually had extra sword at 3 before, but for some reason I don't have one more. But yeah, Kusanagi, a good trap stunner, especially if you can just boost his attack to that level. You gotta be wary though, his effect can only be activated once per turn, so you can only grab a 500 attack bonus once per turn. So
Now
usually,
here comes the sexy card.
usually you want to use it for for the battle phase and just save all the other stuff for trap stun. But yeah, and for the final cards, actually, this is the sexy one. Actually, is actually pretty cool. I have a ghost rare Excalibur. Pulled it first, just out of the. It was awesome. But yeah, ghost rare being my trump card in this one rather than the secret rare. But this one actually is most used for the OTK, and the OTK, I should say, involves 2 Xyz materials. It's preferable that you have extra sword as the material, and that way it'll boost him up to 4,000. Then you use Stoic Challenge to boost him up 1,200, which makes him around 5,000. Yeah, 5,200 attack. Then you boost it even further with. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Then you boost it even further with Heroic Chance. Heroic Chance boosts him up to 10,400. Not to mention, any battle damage dealt to your opponent is doubled if it involves a monster. So say you attack an opponent's monster and boom, it's doubled. And that's essentially dealing over 20,000 attack.
That's basically game.
It's game in one attack. I dealt it against the Light Swords one time. And they couldn't get JD out. It was the 3rd turn of the duel and just pulled off the OTK perfectly. It was pretty epic. But that's about it for this deck profile. If you want to add stuff like Silent Honor's Arc, that would actually be preferable inside of this deck to get rid of something like Beals or
that other annoying crap.
Other annoying special summons from the extra deck. And that's just about it. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a nice day.